We are live. Pleasant evening to you. How are you doing? And if you're online, please let me know you're online and let me know where you're watching me from. Let me just post on the group to let people know that we are live. We are live. We are live. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? How are you doing today? Pleasant evening to you and trust you are doing well. Trust you're doing well. And it's Christmas Eve. So, how is it for you in your location where you are? How is it for you? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Hi, pleasant evening. So, of course, we're giving a few minutes for people to join in. Giving a few minutes for people to join in before we jump into it. And of course, as you know, we like to keep our life straight to the point and as concise as possible. My name is Favour Excellence, and I'm super privileged to be doing life with you in this season of your life. And I'm glad to be your host in the Wisdom Finance series. And I hope you've been getting value so far. For those who have been following through the program, I have been receiving a lot of feedback that are positive, and I love it. Just keep your feedback coming in. My team would be in touch with you to get your feedback, to check up on you, to know how you're doing, where we think you're lagging behind in terms of the content of the program. My team will be in touch with you. And of course, I'm going to be dropping your practical materials for you tonight by God's grace after this live section. So please, you would do me the favor of checking your emails. And of course, day 14 video is ready. I just did not post it since morning, but it's going to be posted tonight as well. So you have quite a lot to keep you busy, during the holidays. I know that it's Christmas and you would like to spend time with family. That's beautiful, but while spending time with family, it's good for you to also be productive and think about your financial future and strategize and plan and see how you want to make the next year better than this current year. So pleasant evening to you. And if you're online, could you please drop a comment? Let me know you're online and let me know where you're watching me from. So please drop a comment. I would love to see your comment. I would love to see your comment. So please drop a comment. How are you doing? I'm going to jump straight right into it. I want to talk about something that is a bit not necessarily off the series, but I want to talk about money today, because when we talk about budgeting, what are you actually budgeting? Is money anyways, isn't it? So I want to talk about I want to give you some few tips or some few facts that you need to know about money and how it relates to budgeting and how it's really going to help you to structure your financial life and be able to program yourself and position yourself for better financial results in the coming years. So if you are in the accountability group, I want to say well done to you and congratulations to you, irrespective of whatever episode you are in right now. Please, I want to encourage you, do not give up. Please and please do not give up. It is a 21-day series for a reason, because when it comes to financial management, do you know the reason why financial management or managing money is the most difficult out of the three process of money, the three stages of the money cycle: making money, managing money, multiplying money? The managing money is the most difficult stage of the cycle. Why? It is because it requires a lot of commitment and it requires a lot of consistency, which so many people are not willing to give. And the reason why we had made this a 21-day series, we could have as well done a 3-day or a 2-day intensive section, and that is it. But we made it a 21-day series to build and help you develop a good habit, a daily habit that would help your financial journey. So basically, what it's supposed to do for you is to be able to help you to, on a daily basis, take an intentional step an intentional action, even if it is a thought, even if it's a meditation, even if it's a reflection towards your financial journey. Because the honest truth is that if you are not thinking about how well you're managing your money on a daily basis, then you are not managing your money well. Because whatever you are doing well, you are intentional about it and you are thinking about it. Welcome, Malachi. Good to have you here. Please let me know where you're watching us from. Okay, so that's the reason why the 21-day series or the Wisdom Finance Mastery is a 21-day series. And I have helped you to break it down. If you are able to give 30 minutes every day to this program, you would get the maximum best out of it. And you don't have to give the 30 minutes at a stretch. You could start by giving, if you can give a 30 minutes at a stretch. And of course, many of the times you spend hours on your phone, you spend hours on the internet, you spend hours on social media. So why can't you give 30 minutes of your time to your financial journey? Most of the people you are watching on social media, that you spend hours watching on social media, they are making money with their content. And probably you are just there watching and enjoying their content, not being paid for it. So why don't you just take that 30 minutes? Within that 30 minutes, you'll be able to watch the video for the day. And each of the videos, maximum, the longest is about 6 minutes plus. So you have about, let's say 6-7 minutes to listen to the video, or even let's say 10 minutes to listen to the episode or the video for that day. You have another 10 minutes to reflect on the reflective points for that day. You have another 10 minutes to jot down your notes or, the key decisions that you are making and the key action points and the key lessons. And if you have some more time, you go over the social media content for that particular day. Do you see? So even if you are unable to give 30 minutes at a stretch, you could start by giving 10 minutes, listen to the video, and then you go about your other activities while reflecting on the reflective point. So you could be reflecting and be doing other things at the same time. And then when you have another 10 minutes, you put down your key points and the key decisions that you are making on your financial journey. So the honest truth is that you are not going to get the results if you do not commit to this journey. This is just a simple test. A simple test. And I can see that already so many people are already failing the test, because not so many of us are consistently going through this program, and it's not healthy at all, and it's going to show in your financial life. So I need you to really shake yourself up, right, and buckle your shoes and catch up where you are lagging behind, and try to ensure that you get on point. Okay, we are moving on to the last week. And this last week is going to be quite intense, because we're also going to be working on our project alongside. I'm going to be sharing the project materials with you today, okay? And I will do a voice note in the community to guide you on how to go about it. So please, while you are eating Christmas rice and chicken, be working on your financial project and your financial plan for 2024. Okay, Malachi is joining us from Enugu. Oh, great. So how is Enugu today? Thank you, Benny, for joining us. There is a third person online. Could you please drop a comment so that I would know where you're watching us from? And Benny, please, if there are any questions, kindly drop them in the chat. I will go over them when I'm done talking about what I want to talk about today. So today I want to talk about, or I want to share a few facts or a few critical things that you need to know about money. Because when we talk about budgeting, what are you actually budgeting? It is money that you are budgeting. And if you do not have money, you do not really have anything that you're budgeting. So the 3 stages, you're making money, you're managing money, you're multiplying money. Yes, every one of us will make money on a daily basis or on a regular basis in one way or the other. So we're not talking about making money, we're talking about managing money. But the center of it all is money. So when you have an understanding about money, or you understand some critical facts about money, it helps you to correctly position yourself. It helps you to have the right mindset. It helps you to have the right disposition towards money so that you are able to get the best out of money. Money is a tool. Money is supposed to work for you. You're supposed to utilize money to achieve significant results out of your life, not the other way around. But unfortunately, a lot of people, have experienced money in different dimensions. Money have brought out the worst in so many people. Money have brought out the best in a lot of people as well. Money has been the beginning of doom for so many people. Money has also been the beginning of, a brighter life and a brighter future for a lot of people. The question is, what will it be for you? So that is part of the reason why I'm sharing with you some of those critical facts today. And please, if you have any question, drop them in the chat, and key points that resonates with you, your light bulb moments, also drop them in the chat. I would love to read from you as we go on in this section. Number one, money is not static. Money is never static. Have you ever wondered why people steal, and once they steal and they've made some money, you would think that they are going to stop because they've made some money so that they can rest to eat that money that they have stolen? But rather, they will keep stealing more, stealing more, stealing more. Money is never static, and the more you want it, the more you want to have it. The more you have it, the more you want to have it. That is the interesting thing about money. Have you ever wondered why people who are politicians, who are stealing money, they want to keep stealing? Business people who are working hard, having their businesses, making money, they want to keep making money. They want to expand their businesses. They want to grow their businesses. They want to keep, expanding their channels of income so that they can continually make more money. This is because they understand. When you have handled money before, you would understand that money is not static. And do you know why money is not static? Number one, you spend money on a daily basis. You spend money on a daily basis. If you think that you are in your house, and because you are in your house, you are not spending any money, you are making a critical mistake. Because every day that you are in your house, you are spending money on rents. If you divide your rents, your annual rent by 365, it will help you understand how much you pay for your rent in a day. So for every day you stay in your house, whether you go step out of your door, you do not step out of your door, you have spent that amount of money on rent. Now, you have spent money on utilities. If you have electricity on your units, you pay for water on a monthly basis, you pay for refuse disposal on a monthly basis, you buy units, electricity units, divide it per day. For every day you are in that house, right, you are spending money. A lot of people think that they are not spending money because there is no intentional and active spending of money. Like, I go to the store, I buy this, I buy that, or I give somebody money, or somebody gave me money or something, or there have been some transaction or a change of money from hands. So because there are no active expenditures, you think that you are not spending money. There are active expenditures and there are passive expenditures. For every day that you are on the earth, you are spending money. This morning I took my bath and I used soap, right? That particular soap, a component of it amounts to my expenditure for today. A component of the amount I spend on my cream amounts to my expenditure for today. My utilities, right, amounts to my expenditure for today. My lights, those are passive ways in which you spend money. So you spend money daily. You spend money daily. That is part of the reason why money is never static. So if you ever think that money is static because I have 50,000 naira in my account, so at the end of the day, the 50,000 naira remains 50,000 naira, and I did not buy anything today, so I have not spent money today, that's a lie. You may not have spent money actively, but you have spent money passively. So if you sit down to do a critical analysis of your expenses for that day, you would realize how much you have really spent, both in active expenditures and in passive expenditures. So money is not static. Number two, money is not static because money depreciates. Money depreciates. And money depreciates. Why? Because of the inflation rate on a daily basis. For example, if you have 50,000 naira in your account today, and you are able to buy maybe you are able to buy 50 units of electricity for 50,000 naira today, and the 50 units of electricity increases to 60,000 naira by tomorrow. Even if you wake up with 50,000 naira in your account, you go to bed with 50,000 naira in your account, that 50,000 naira in your account has depreciated. Why? Because what you could have used 50,000 naira to buy today is no longer what you can use 50,000 naira to buy tomorrow. So money depreciates. Another way money depreciates is this. You have equipment, you have resources, you have materials in your house. Probably you have a laptop. Your laptop has a lifespan. So for every day, whether you use the laptop, you do not use the laptop is depreciating. And that's why when we come to complex accounting for businesses and organizations, every equipment and materials are depreciated on a regular basis. Do you understand? So if you have chairs in your house, the chairs for each passing day is depreciating. If the lifespan of the chair was 1 year minus 1 day out of 365 days, the lifespan of that chair has depreciated. If you had blender, if you had television, whatever you have in your possession as your property, it has depreciated. It is this understanding that wealthy people understand that makes them to ensure that they are continually making money. They want to keep making money every day because they understand that every day money is increasing in their hands or money is decreasing in their hands. Now, whether money has increased in your hand per day is dependent on one factor. Number one, you do all the calculation of all the depreciations of your expenses for that day plus your passive expenditures and subtract it from all your income for that particular day. If your income surpasses all the expenditures and the depreciation, then your money increased in that day. But if you did not do anything to make any money in that day, all that has happened has been depreciation and passive expenditures for that particular day. What has happened to you? You have decreased in terms of the value of the money that you have or the value of your worth. This is the reason why there is a saying that the rich wants to keep getting richer, because they understand that the journey of wealth creation and the journey of money is because they understand that wealth creation is a journey. And just like any other journey or any other relay race, when you are running on the relay race, until you get to the finish line, you do not stop. Every second counts. If you decide to stop for any second or any minute, what happens? Other people can overtake you. And any slight 0.00 second can amount to you losing that race or winning that race. So what it means is that for you to be able to create wealth, you need to understand that it is a journey. And you need to understand that that journey requires a lot of consistency. And that's the reason why you cannot say that I will work today, I will not work tomorrow. I want to make money today, I don't want to make money tomorrow. You need to every single day ensure that you are making money either actively or passively. That is the only way that you can ensure that your journey to wealth creation is you are increasing, or you are moving forward, you are progressing on that journey, and you are not declining. So money is not static. If you ever think that money is static, what it does for you is that it brings some form of lackadaisical attitude into your money management. You sit down, you just turn on the TV, turn on the AC, use the electricity, you eat, you wake up on a particular day, you just spend hours on the internet, spend hours sleeping. Meanwhile, money is going. Every passing second, every passing minute, money is going. When you break down the money that you make, when you break down your income into the minutest bits, it helps you to be more intentional. For example, in terms of I have an 8 to 5, in addition to my business and other things that I do. On my 8 to 5, I know how much I earn per day. Even though I know, right? Even though my salary is paid on a monthly basis, I have been able to do that calculation to break down my salary into a daily income, to break down my salary into an hourly income, so that every hour I put into my job, I know what my worth is on that particular job. So that when I sit down with somebody on consultation, I know my worth, and I'm able to tell you, no. I'm able to negotiate. I'm able to, be intentional about every hour of my life. That is how intentional you can get with your money, on your money journey. And until you get to the point where you are very, very intentional, and you are this intentional, you are not ready to create wealth. You are not ready. Forget it. Do all the budgeting today till tomorrow, but have a fantastic budget. It's not about you having a fantastic budget. It's about you having a realistic budget and you working with that budget to progress on your wealth journey. So I'm not so much interested in you having a budget, because we could finish this Wisdom Finance series, you come up with a fantastic budget, right? But if you do not understand these basics, the honest truth is that the budget will not work for you. After 6 months, after 1 year, you just say, oh, I just paid for that training. Nothing has changed in my life. Nothing has happened in my life. So you need to have this understanding. Money is not static. Money is not static. Why do you think that a lot of companies, they are looking for people to give loan? Let me ask you, all these loan app and all these banks, when they see that the tithes are down, they start looking for people who will borrow their money. Why do you think they are looking for people who will borrow their money? They will tell you 5% interest, 10% interest. They will make it very juicy for you. Why do you think they do that? They want to send their money on an errand, because they know that money that sits in the bank is depreciating. They have this understanding because they know on a daily basis, any amount of money that just sits in the bank is depreciating. And so what do? They start looking for people who will come and borrow the money. Even if it's at 10% interest, come and borrow it. At 20% interest, come and borrow it. Because they know that by the time they are collecting the money back, at least the money would have added some value. So instead of the money sitting in the bank and depreciating, let somebody have it so that the money can at least add some value. So you need to get this correctly. Money is not static. Money is not static. If you have some money, idle money in your bank account, just know that every day the value is reducing. Just have that at the back of your mind. It is not left to you to calculate to know what is the risk or what is the rate of the depreciation of this money, and what do I want to do to make the money appreciate or to make my money work for me. Number 2, effective money management starts with money intelligence. See, wisdom is the principal thing. Get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding. That understanding is what we call money intelligence. If you do not understand money, right? If you do not know about money, you have limited knowledge about money, it would impact how you manage your money. It would impact how you even see your money. It would impact how you perceive money. It would impact your attitude and your disposition towards money. It is the knowledge and the intelligence you have about money that determines how you treat money and how well you send your money on an errand and you get your money to work for you. And that is also what will impact how effective the tools and the systems of money management that you put in place would be for you, which includes your budgets. So if you do not have money intelligence, the honest truth is that with all your budgeting, you may not be able to even do first of all, an effective budget. And even if you are able to come up with a budget with support, right, the budget may not work for you like it should work for you. Now, look at it this way. You went to school, right? Probably you are a graduate or you are an undergraduate. How many years on the average do you spend studying that course that you studied? Probably you are an accountant or you are an engineer. So first of all, you start with kindergarten, right? You did kindergarten for 3 years. Then you moved on to nursery and to primary, right? You spend 5 years on the average. Some people spend 6 years, some people spend more, depending on how intelligent you are. That's how many years? 9 years. And then you move from there to secondary school, right? And then you spend another 6 years in the secondary school. How many years altogether? That is another 6 years. So 6 plus 9, that's 15 years of your life, right? You have spent trying to become what? Trying to become what? Just trying to become an accountant or trying to become an engineer. You move on from secondary school and then you go to the university and you spend another 5 years. That brings you to how many years? 20 years. So on the average of your life, you spend 20 good years of your life trying to build one single career. Then when it comes to money management, let's just do a 21-day series and then you are running away. You can't spend 30 minutes in a day. If you spend 30 minutes in a day times 21, how many hours does it give you? Does it go anywhere near the number of years that you have put into your academic study to get a certificate? Wisdom is the principal thing. Get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding. The honest truth is that how well you'll be able to manage your finances is determined by the knowledge that you've been able to gather on that particular subject or on the subject of money. So you need to be committed to trainings, you need to be committed to reading books, you need to be committed to attending, programs like this. You need to be committed to coaching and mentorship. You need to be committed and be intentional on the journey. Because the interesting thing is that unfortunately, our educational system has done us a disfavor in Nigeria. Even though when I was in school, sometime they introduced some entrepreneurship, I think when I was in 300 level. When was I in 300 level? Maybe almost 15 years ago. They introduced some entrepreneurship thing into it. But what did it amount to? They taught us how to do fashion design, how to sew clothes, how to make shoes, that is their understanding of entrepreneurship. Did they teach you about money management? No. Maybe some of us would have gotten some level of training on money management from our upbringing. For me personally, I grew up in a family that, oh my God, my parents are one of the most prudent people in terms of financial management, and I learned a lot by observation. So I started my journey on money management very early. Plus, I now built my career in that direction as well. So that has helped me to be able to acquire a lot of knowledge and intelligence in that area over the decades. But imagine that you grew up in an environment where, you learned literally nothing about money management. And you went to school, you studied something, that you were not even taught about money management. Then do you now think that it's just attending one section or one class of 2 hours that would help you to acquire all the knowledge you need? No. Even I myself, that I've given almost 20 years of my life on this journey, I am still learning about money on a daily basis. I am still learning. I am still honing my money management knowledge. I am still reading. I am still studying. I am still meditating, and what it does for me is that as I progress on the journey, I get more wisdom, or I am able to apply my heart to wisdom in handling different situations, and I'm able to guide a lot of people in coaching and mentorship to be able to also tread the right path. Do you see? So if you are going to acquire the knowledge, if you are going to really effectively manage your money in 2024, one of the key things you should commit your heart to is learning about money. If you are able to give for these 21 days 30 minutes every day, and after the 21 days you continue the 30 minutes every day towards financial intelligence, towards money intelligence, come back after 1 year or at the end of 2024 and tell me how it has been, you would realize that the impact would be very, very significant. You will begin to see areas in your life where there are loopholes in your financial management. You begin to see areas where you have not been wise in the past on how you managed your money. You begin to see opportunities that you can quickly harness to multiply money. You will even identify ways you can make money and see how you can better position yourself for opportunities to, scale up in your financial journey and secure your financial future. So you need money intelligence. Another thing you need is money commitment. See, nobody cares about how much you make. What people care about is what you make out of how much you make. Nobody in this life cares about how much you make. Come out and boast, I make 10 million every day, I make 50 million every day. People will just be watching you. But when you release a Range Rover, people will be like, wow. When you build a new house, people will be like, oh, this is great. When you dress up and you come out and you're looking flamboyant, everybody will be like, we can see money talking. That is them seeing what you make out of the money. Two people can be in the same office, earning the same salary, but they have different journeys when it comes to their financial management. Different journeys, and they are having different experiences. Why? First of all, because of their intelligence, and two, because of their commitments. So it is not about what you make, it's about what you do with what you make. And what you are able to do with what you make is determined by what you are committed to. Because you can have all the knowledge. For example, if you've been in this 21-day money series and you've been able to listen to at least 3 of the episodes, you should have gained some level of knowledge and intelligence, right? Now, let me ask you, what have you done about, tell me one thing that you've done about what you've learned. Just one thing. Tell me one thing that you've done about what you've learned in the last, since we've been on this journey. Probably nothing. Probably nothing. Probably none of you have taken any step towards your financial journey. So tell me, how do you want to get the results? How? Is it magic? How do you want to get the results? You cannot get the results if you do nothing about it. Knowledge remains knowledge until it is applied. When it is applied, it becomes wisdom. It becomes wisdom. So it is not just about what you know. It is not just about what you've learned. It's about what you have done with what you've learned, or what you can do, or what you are doing, what decisions you've made, what commitment you've made, what intentional steps you are taking in the direction of application of the knowledge. So commitment requires actions, continuous actions, and actions even when it is not convenient. So it means that you have attended this training. On episode 1, you have learned something, and you are asking yourself, okay, on this that I have learned, what will I do differently? This is what I will do differently. This is my commitment, and this is what I will continue to do going forward. Episode 2, what have I learned? This is my commitment, and this is what I will continue to do. Episode 3, episode 4, episode 5. That is only when you will begin to experience the transformation. That is when you experience the transformation. This is why, for example, you see two people, they sit in class, they write the exams, everybody can pass the exams, but not everybody will thrive in life using that knowledge. It is those who are able to transform the knowledge, right? Those who are able to transform the knowledge into practical steps and practical actions that would be able to get the best result out of it. So trust me, it is not about you attending this training. In fact, I am not as much concerned about you being in this program as much as I am concerned about what you would do with what you have learned being in this program. Because if you do not do anything moving on from here, the honest truth is that nothing has changed. You have only gained knowledge. And you can have all the most excuse in life, right? But excuses are for failures. That's the honest truth. Excuses are for failures. And I want to believe that you are not one. So what is stopping you from you taking the bold step towards doing what you need to do to get the best result out of your life? It is your life. It is your future. And the interesting thing about life is that life would always, give everyone opportunity. But it is what you do with that opportunity that counts. So it is not about how much you make. It's about what you do with what you make. Whether you spend it recklessly, whether you are able to plan it properly and budget it properly and utilize it effectively, whether you are able to invest it and multiply it. It is what you do with what you make. And whatever you do with what you make, it is your responsibility. It is not anybody's responsibility. It is your responsibility. So first of all, you need to take responsibility for it. Whatever it is that is the outcome of your financial future, it is your responsibility. And you need to take responsibility. Let me give you an example, right? Two people grew up in a family, right? A family that the mom fries akara by the road, beans balls, for those of us that don't know what akara is, right? Fries and makes beans ball by the roadside and utilize it to train the two children to school. The first one grew up and was so angry with the mother after being a graduate, feeling so big and feeling so embarrassed for the mother to be by the roadside, forgetting that it was that business that trained him to school, right? And did not want to associate with the mother, do not stay with the mother by the road, goes ahead, forming big boy, borrowing money up and down to service a life that he has not achieved or have not attained in life. The second one sat with the mother, even though a graduate, learned the skill of that akara and began to ask himself, how can I improve on it? Let me bring in my degree and my intelligence into this business. What did he do? Decided to introduce other things into the akara, put chicken in it, include sauce to it, rebranded the packaging and started delivering it to different companies and places and making millions out of it. Two different persons from the same family, growing up, seeing the parents on a particular trade. Two of them had different disposition to the trade. So one was able to apply his intelligence to the existing resources, while the second one despised the existing resources. Two of them, did they have equal opportunity? Oh yes, they did. They did have equal opportunity. So if the first one is looking at the second one tomorrow and saying that my brother, life happened, or this life is not fair, my brother is this, is that, it's his fault, because he despised what. So many of the times when people tell me, oh, this is it, I don't like what my parents do, or the kind of skill and knowledge that I have and all that, I want to try and understand. Is it coming from a place of despise or coming from a place of lack of knowledge? Because you can take that skill and take it forward. Do you know why in Nigeria and in Africa, or let me say in Nigeria, most of the businesses or most of the wealth are not transgenerational. Go check it very well. Many of the people that build businesses, politicians, you have this one, have that one, have that one. By the time they go, they bring in their children. They will the property, will the companies and everything to their children. What happens? Their children sell them off, squanders the money, and then we're unable to see anything out of it. Do you know why? Because each generation is supposed to build and expand. But what happens? The children come up and then they feel like, oh, my father has made all the money, it's my turn to chop. Without you building and expanding. It's just like a farmer. A farmer plants this season and then had a bountiful harvest. And I say, oh, my soul, rejoice. Sit down and let's eat and enjoy. And then the farmer sits down and begin and eat all the harvest without removing seeds for the next season. Do you think that farmer will have seed to eat in the next season? Absolutely no. And that's what is happening with a lot of businesses in Nigeria today. The children comes and then they eat everything without separating the fruits from the seed so that they can plant the seed against the next season. So at the end of the day, their children lives in poverty because they are unable to transfer the wealth and transfer the skill and transfer the intelligence to the next generation. But you shouldn't be like that. And that's what this program should do for you. Right? And then the third one is money discipline. Right? So don't forget, I'm talking about effective money management. Right? Starts with money intelligence. For you to attain money intelligence, you don't just need the knowledge, you need the commitment, and then you need the discipline. So the discipline means that irrespective of what others are doing, irrespective of what is going on around me, whether it is convenient or it is not convenient, I will stay on this path and I will stay on this path. Many of the times, I'll tell you the honest truth, there are times I crave to eat certain things and I tell myself, no, Favour, you are not buying it. And there are times, and it's not like I don't have the money. Sometimes some of the things I crave for, I can conveniently afford it. But because I am disciplining my appetites and disciplining myself for my financial future, I cannot afford to just eat anything I feel like eating. I cannot afford to honor any appetite that comes. So I need to know what is acceptable and what I can excuse in the immediate. That is discipline. Discipline requires that we are on a 21 days journey and I can show up every day 21 days to engage with you on your financial journey, committing to your growth, committing to your financial journey. So tell me, what is stopping you from showing up daily and giving at least 30 minutes for your own financial future? And you know the interesting thing, anything you do continuously for 21 days unconsciously becomes an habit. And if you want to break an habit, a bad habit, just try to ensure that you try to break it and stop that thing for 21 days. You would realize that after 21 days, it naturally just goes off. But if you are able to show up consistently for 21 days, 21 days you are able to sit down, you are able to watch a video that has to do with your financial life. You are able to sit down and reflect on something as it relates to your financial journey. You are able to pen down something as it relates to your financial intelligence and financial journey. You are on the right path and you are developing a good and correct habit that will help you to be able to secure your financial future. So discipline is very, very important. And while on the road of discipline, you would realize that not everybody can be your friend. Sometimes you may have to dissociate from some networks. You may have to dissociate from some company. You may have to distance yourself from friends. But you know the honest truth is that when you are successful, those friends will look for you. Those friends would look for you. But when you are not successful, they would excuse themselves from you. Somebody said something which was so profound. He said, nobody digs into the history of a poor man. Nobody digs into the history of a poor man to say, hey, yeah, why is this man poor? Oh, okay, what kind of challenges are they going through? No. People only research and become interested in the history of successful people, you would realize that once you are successful today, everybody wants to be interested in you. They want to ask themselves, oh, where did you start from? How did you start? It's just like we are doing this series today, right? In the near future, people will start asking, how did Favour start? Forgetting that we do programs and I show up 21 days. Most of my trainings and most of my programs, I always ensure that it is for a 21-day series or 21 days period. Do you know why? Because I want to help the people I'm working with to imbibe a good habit as it relates to that thing. If you are able to show up every day on a particular subject for you to achieve a particular goal on a particular, in a particular aspect of your life, forget it. You are on the path to gaining victory on that particular aspect of your life. Okay? So I really want to encourage you. Discipline. Get the knowledge. You are already on the path. If you are in the accountability group, it means that you realize that you require more knowledge. So kudos to you for being here. But the knowledge is not enough. You also need the commitment. You need to tell yourself, I will take action. I will take more action. I will continue to take action. And even when it's not convenient, I will still take action. And then you need to tell yourself, I would remain disciplined. I will set structures. If I need to set alarm on my phone to remind me every day, or in the cycles of 10 minutes or 15 minutes that I want to, engage on this concept or on this subject, I'm going to set that alarm so that I can get the best out of this program. Now the third one, let me see if I still have some time. The third one, okay, let me just give you this third one before I go. I still have a list of a couple. In the structuring your finances for 2024, I'm going to be sharing a couple of things as well on that. So if you can register for that, tomorrow the registration is going to be completely free because it's Christmas. So I'm doing Christmas giveaway with that for tomorrow. So as many people who are willing to register, they can register for free tomorrow for that. Now, the third fact I want to share about money is this: money is tripartite. Money is tripartite, meaning that money has a past, money has a present, and money has a future. So whatever money you have and whatever money you would make, a component of it belongs to your past, a component of it belongs to your present, and a component of it belongs to your future. Now, your past refers to those expenses that you've already incurred, those mandatory debts and, expenses and bills that you have incurred that you need to pay for. Those things you mandatorily need to spend money on. Those are your past, right? Your present are the things that you will spend money on now. So once I receive my salary, I'm going to buy this. Once I receive my salary, I'm going to transport to this. Once I receive my salary, I'm going to do your present. Your future refers to, the life and the days ahead of you. A component of every amount of money you make belongs to your future. What happens most of the times is that when people receive their money, they focus on their present and their past and ignore their future. You invest into your future through savings. If any money passes through your hand that is yours, and you are unable to take a component of it to put aside to sow into your future in savings, then it means that you are not living in financial wisdom. Because financial wisdom requires that you service the three aspect of money, the tripartite being of money, which is the past, the present, and the future. Don't service your past, service your present, and ignore your future. If you do so, you'll be doing that at the risk of your financial security in the future. So make up your mind and decide that No matter what, any money that passes through my hand that is mine, no matter how much I make, a component of it must go to savings, no matter how small. In the structuring your financial life, I'm going to give you a template that can help you in structuring your financial life, right? I'm going to propose a couple of templates that can help you on that. But just note it. Money is tripartite. So if somebody dashes you 50,000 today, you should ask yourself, what percentage of this money is going into my past? What percentage of it is going into my present? And what percentage of it is going into my future? And when you get to the point where a larger percentage of the money that passes through your hand is going into your future, when you get to that point, then you are triumphing in your finances. You are triumphing in your finances. When you get to the point where a greater percentage of your income goes into your future, because it means that your financial future is secured. So I want to encourage you today, please, 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 don't service your past and your present at the expense of your future. Don't. That was one lesson I learned as a child growing up. In fact, I did a post on my social media platform about it some time ago. If you ever bring something to my house, or maybe my mom's is cooking and all that, and you eat everything, or somebody dash you something and you sit down and you finish everything, the way my mom will scream at you and will call you thief, 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 you would think that you've gone to steal something, because she will always tell me it is only a thief that eats his future. That's what my mom would tell me growing up as a child. It is only a thief that will eat his future. It means that you are stealing from yourself. You are stealing from your own future. Why will you have a pot of food today and you sit down and you finish everything? You don't have any money reserved for tomorrow. You don't have a component or a portion of the food reserved for tomorrow. You don't have any plans for tomorrow. You just sit down and you finish everything today. Then you are stealing from yourself. You are stealing from your own future. So let's not steal from our future. And let's not, people that are not wise financially, you see, when they receive money today, they are thinking, I want to get the best Range Rover. I want to, look all flashy. I want to get the nicest dress. I want to wear designers and this and that and that. And they are servicing their present at the expense of their future. Let me end by talking about this story in the scripture. I'm a believer, so most of my principles are rooted in the scriptures. So sorry if you are not a believer. So there was a time, in the scriptures where there was going to be famine. There was going to be famine, and and what was the instruction? Joseph had, spoken to the king, and he has interpreted the dream. The king had the dream, and had, looked for who is going to interpret the dream, and Joseph interpreted and all that. And, what was the interpretation? That there is going to be famine. Famine is coming. But before the famine, there's going to be a season of plenty, a season of abundance. So what do they need to do? In that season of abundance, a portion of everything that they make, everybody in that particular land, a portion of everything that they make, they need to save it and they need to keep it in preparation for the season of plenty. Do you know that single story, because that happened, in the scriptures, and when I began to do my research, I could link those people, right? I could link them to the Jews of today. And a typical Jew, and the Jews are like the most wealthiest people in the world today. A typical Jew would always, when he receives his income, would always divide and put a particular portion aside for the future. And go and check it. People who do that, they will never be in a situation whereby they have to start begging, they have to start borrowing, they have to start running etasketa, and they have to, be disorganized financially and all that, because they have planned their future. So if I'm going to say something to you in wrapping up this section, because I want to quickly take questions from the comment section, please don't eat your future. Don't steal from your future, from your own future. And I trust God to really help you, and open the eyes of your understanding for you to really internalize this truth, and for you to not just internalize them, for you to also apply them to your life so that you can get the best result out of them. So this is what I intend to share with you today, and I'm going to stop here. I want to take questions. Let me see all the questions in the comment section. Okay, somebody is asking, what percentage of my income do you think is best for investments in my budget? So the honest truth is that for this one, it's not cast on stones, and there is no hard or fast rule about it. It depends on it depends on the current demand of your life, right? If you ask me about savings, I can tell you a minimum of 20%, and I can prove that to you from the scriptures if you're a believer. But a minimum of 20% should go into savings, right? But then when you talk about investment, now savings and investment usually go together. So whatever you save, you can invest it. I do not encourage people to just save and have money do then, because if you just have money do, then the money is likely going to be depreciated. So I encourage people to do profitable savings, and unfortunately that's outside of the scope of this program. But I encourage people to do profitable savings. There are savings schemes that would help you to accrue interest. There are savings, in a way that could appreciate. For example, me personally, I don't save in Naira. I don't save in local currency, and that has really helped me. Because, for example, when I started this, there were dollar I bought at 300 and something, 400 and something, 500 and something. Today, how much is dollar? Over 1,000 naira. So you can see that my money has doubled. Do you understand? But imagine if I had some 1 million naira in the account, in my bank account, right? Over the years, the money would have depreciated, because you see the inflation rates, the cost of goods and services has significantly increased. So what it has done for me is that, it has helped me to also increase the value of my money. So changing my money back with the current rates to Naira, it helps me to get more value for my money. So there are profitable investments and profitable savings. And I think I'm going to do a series on savings in January, and I'm going to have an accountability savings group. So if you want to join that, you can already sign up for it or indicate your interest. So we are going to be saving together as a group, and we are going to choose a profitable or we are going to give you a number of profitable savings options that you can explore if you are interested, and then we can move on from there. So yes, your savings can eventually transform into your income. However, you can also decide that a particular percentage of my monthly income will be going into investment. Maybe I want to buy stocks, I want to buy some shares, or I want to do some micro investments and all that. So you can say 10%, at least from 10%, it is good enough. So you can have from 10% good enough. But when it comes to savings, at least have from 20%. Why? Because the most juicy investment opportunities come big. They require big investments. And because they require big investment or big amount of money, you need to have saved over a period of time for you to have that amount of money ready, so that when those opportunities open up, you can quickly key into it. Do you understand? So it's good for you to have that. I think I've answered your question. If I have not answered your question, please indicate and let me know, or rephrase it. How can we prepare for unexpected expenses when it is more than the budget? Okay, so the thing is, I think on in one of the days I talked about priority. There are unexpected expenses that would always come, and like I said, the fact that you have a budget does not mean that it has taken away all your problems. Things may come that you did not plan for. Things may come that you did not anticipate. That is why a key component of your budget will be your contingency budget, that is to cover for unexpected expenses. And what happens is that you need to roll over your contingency budget over a period of time. When you roll it over a period of time, what happens is that, and then you can even put it into some profitable savings. So the month's contingency will not come every month. If contingency did not come this month, you can roll over that money to next month, put it into a profitable savings scheme. Next month your contingency budget, put it into a profitable savings scheme. Maybe by the third month, when you are having a contingency or an unexpected expenditure, you already have some money somewhere that you can use to solve that problem. Do you understand? But if peradventure it is something that comes up that is so huge, that is out of your way and all that, then you need to explore other ways to raise money. The money don't have to come from you and don't have to come from your budget, except it's the thing of life and death. If it's a thing of life and death, then you can decide to scatter your budget for it, right? Because of course it is when you have life that you can even save or invest or enjoy the fruit of your labor, right? And that is when you can now begin to explore external ways to raise money to support that particular incident or support that particular emergency. But if it is not the case, if it is not a thing of life and death, you can decide to plan it over a period of time or split the expenditure maybe into months. You can split it into 3 months, split it into 4 months, so that you can use your contingency budget to cover it over that period of time. If you can get a soft loan, with no interest, maybe from friends and family, or very low interest, that can also help you to split it over a period of time. And if need be, you can also explore your savings for it. But if you are exploring your savings, never exhaust your savings to solve such issues. You need to definitely have something to lean back to. So you can say I advise maximum 50%. So maximum 50% of your savings you can decide to deploy into that, and then the remaining 50% you deploy into investment. Because after that issue, life continues. That's the honest truth. After that issue, life continues. For example, some years ago when I lost my sister, she had some health issues and all that. We had scattered, everybody had brought in all their money and all that. We have sold properties for our health, issues and all that. But then there were some monies that I kept aside, because after the whole spending and everything, she eventually died, right? We did all our best. She eventually died. But when she died, life continues. I needed to go back to other things and all that. Family needed to move on and all that. And it was those little monies that were kept aside that now helped, to be able to stabilize, and then before the whole family started getting itself together and all that. So I always advise, at least, no matter what, just have something somewhere. That something somewhere, you may not keep it by yourself. You can give it to a trusted person or an accountability structure to help to keep it for you, or to lock it somewhere, so that when you are even planning, you do not even remember that you even have something somewhere. So that if need be, you always have something to fall back to. Then I always advise people that no matter what, if you are working, you need to have at least 6 months of your income or 6 months of your salary saved up somewhere. At least 6 months. So that if anything happens, you are able to survive for at least 6 months. Then you have 6 months to be able to put yourself together and think of the next line of action. If you do not have at least 6 months of your monthly salary saved up somewhere in a profitable savings scheme, then you are not doing the right thing. Something is wrong somewhere. So you need to check it. Okay, I think I've answered this. I always have surprise expenses. It is frustrating. How do you think I can manage it? So it still boils back to your contingency budget, because you manage those surprise expenses, with your contingency budget. That's number one. Number two, if you are always having surprise expenses, then there is a problem somewhere with your planning, and you need to have a look at it. There's a problem somewhere with your planning. So you need to sit back and reflect and ask yourself, okay, what are my roles and responsibilities? What are my commitments? What are the expenses that will likely come up? Do you understand? You need to sit back and reflect and do a deep reflection. Sometimes you may need somebody to sit with you and ask you tough questions. Some of these reflections you may not be able to do alone. That's the essence of a coach, in your life, to help you really ask you the tough questions, right? So that you can really think through and make your budget very realistic. If you are not having a realistic budget, you would always have surprise expenses. That's the honest truth. So it means that there is a problem somewhere with your budget, right? With how realistic your budget is. And then, you need to really look into how you are planning your contingency. You understand? So that is really important. The idea of budgeting my money make me feel stick and rigid. How can I change that mindset? So like I always say, that you have to be bound somewhere, right? You have to be bound somewhere, but you need to ensure that you are righteously bound, or you are bound by the right things. You need to be sure you are bound by the right things, because whether you budget or you do not budget, you have a plan. When you have a budget, you have a successful financial plan, right? Or a success financial plan. But when you do not have a budget, you are indirectly planning to fail in your financial life. So either ways, you have a plan. But the problem is, what kind of plan do you have, right? And that plan sticks and binds you to the kind of future that it would definitely lead you to. So it's either it is leading you to a positive financial future, or it is leading you to a negative financial future. So you need to understand that in life, you definitely have to be bound, but ensure that you are righteously bound. You are bound by the right things. You are bound by budget. You are bound by financial management. You are bound by financial structures. You are bound by financial accountability, so that it can make you, to understand where you're going to. You need to be clear on your vision. When you are clear on your vision and you know what you're working towards, the honest truth is that, it gives you a lot of comfort knowing that this is what I am expecting. For example, now I am working on a couple of projects, investment projects, that has made me to really be very bound. That in my expenses, I'm so strict that I did not even buy Christmas chicken. That's how strict it is. You understand? But what gives me the comfort is that I know what I'm working towards, and I know, the benefit it will bring for me when that eventually pulls through. So you need to be clear on what you're working towards. That's the reason why in your budgeting process, I start by telling you to write down your vision, write down your financial vision or your budgeting vision. What do you want to achieve? Because that is what will keep you, sane when the tides are down. That is what will keep you sane when it looks as if it is very difficult. Secondly, you need to create some form of flexibility in your budget. And I usually advise between 10 to 20% flexibility limit in your budget, because when your budget is too rigid, it also makes things very difficult for you. Another thing is that you need to also note that your budget is not cast on stones, right? That is why you need accountability structures. Sometimes things may change. You may have to move figures around, but you need somebody who is also able to help you to be sure that you are not doing it because it is convenient for you, but you are doing it because it is the right thing to do. And then another thing that would also help you not feel stuck or feel like you are in a box is when you also have contingency. Then another thing is you need to ensure that you budgeted everything, including your enjoyments. including your entertainment, including your data. Because sometimes what happens is that if you do not budget everything you need or the most things that you need, what will happen is that, you know, by the time all those other expenses that you had not budgeted start coming up, you start feeling uncomfortable, you start feeling, you know, you are bound, you start feeling, you know, you are stuck somewhere because there are expenses that you really, really need to incur, but you have not budgeted them. So you need someone to really work with you. And if this is something that you are not used to, sometimes you may need somebody to really, really, you know, work with you on that journey so that you can feel very comfortable with it. At the end of the day, you will smile. One interesting thing is that most people that I've worked with, you know, most of my clients that I've worked with in their budgeting journey, at the beginning, there is always resistance. At the beginning, there is always resistance because everybody go through that phase of resistance because they've been used to doing things in a certain way. They've been used to spending money as it comes, spending money just as they like and all that. And now it's like there's somebody that is checking on you. There is a structure you have to follow. There is a budget you have to follow. You know, you feel that initial resistance. But when you see the results, you now begin to enjoy it and you begin to be excited about it. And you are so glad that you committed to the process. It's just like when you sit down and you are reading and preparing for exam. When you are burning the midnight candle, it is never convenient. It is never convenient. You are tired. Sometimes you put your legs in water. Sometimes you walk around just to ensure that you read your book. But when you see the result and you see the A and the results justify the work, you are always excited. So that is it. So let the result justify, you know, the work, and you will be glad that you did. I think that's the last question, and we have spent about 11 minutes more than our time today. So I want to call it a night here. Thank you so much for joining us. I remain Favour Excellence. Please, if you have any more questions, please do ask. You can say, if it's very personal, you don't want to post it on the group, you can send it to my DM. I will respond to you. And please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, you are wrong. So please subscribe to this channel and expect your project materials, and I will see you in day 15, and Merry Christmas in advance, and expect day 14 video as well. Bye for now.